G'day everyone, today we're going to look at the completed electronics box and I'm going to show you how I got the torch to trigger using the CNC shield, so stick around. G'day guys, I just thought I'd give you an update on the electronic side of things, the control box. I've made myself a little wooden prototype box here. It's pretty much housing all the electronics. I'll give you a quick gander, just a quick one. So this is the box itself. We've got all our labels. I don't know if I can get them in shot for you. There you go. So we've got our X limit, Z limit, X axis, Y axis, X axis, that's the Y clone axis. This one here will fire the torch, and then we have the Y limit. So they're all running back inside to the CNC shield, which is now housed in here. The power supply is housed in here as well. So we've got a little opening here for our USB and a little IEC switch. So I can turn the machine on and off now from here. Instead of having to plug it in and it being live straight away, I can plug it in and then use the switch. Moving to the top, we have two intake fans. So this will be sucking air in or pushing air. The bigger fan is sitting directly over the Arduino or over the CNC shield. So that way you get the most amount of, airflow over the heat sinks to keep it nice and cool. We have our resume buttons, hold and abort. So when you're running a job, I can hit hold and hold the job, correct what I need to, and then resume it. And if I want to abort the job, we just hit abort. And then all importantly, I've got an emergency stop. It's actually I had some fun with this. What it does is just resets garble. It does a full reset on garble, so it's not a true emergency stop. I am possibly looking at getting another one of these switches and putting it in on the power unit to either the entire box or to the probably to the entire box, so that it will be then a true basically a true emergency stop. So if something drastically does go wrong, I can just hit the button and it'll cut everything to the machine, all power to the machine. Another thing with the emergency stop, I bought one of these, $8 I think it was. What I didn't realise was it's a normally closed switch. Now that doesn't work on garble. It has to be normally open. So what I had to do is I had to actually turn or change the internal mechanism of the way the switch worked. So now it's a normally open circuit, not a normally closed circuit. So now when I press the button, it actually activates the switch and resets garble for us. So that was a bit of fun playing around with that. So what I'll do is I will open up the box just so you can see how it all lays out inside. I'll quickly get these screws out. Now it's just made of 12mm ply because I just wanted to get an idea. I'll look at building either a metal housing so I can ground it to stop interference down the track, but at the moment I'll go with timber. Well, I've gone with timber. Oh, and sorry, I forgot to mention, at the back here there's a small outlet. So basically the air gets pushed in through the top and it actually comes out through the back. So we will open this up this way. I'm thinking about putting some hinges on it, and I'll tip it up just so you can see inside. So there's the Arduino down here near my thumb, and the power supply and the cabling as such. Now what you'll see is a loose cable here. This here, I'm waiting on a relay to be delivered from eBay, and that relay itself is going to be the relay that activates the torch here. At the moment, I looked at trying to utilize a relay that I had. I just couldn't get it to work. So I've actually got a small little Arduino relay. It's about $1.50 I think delivered. It's going to sit down in the box itself, so that when running the G code, when I hit MO3, which is enable the spindle, then it will actually turn the relay on. Then when the machine or the G code sends command M05, it turns that pin off, and that's what's going to turn my switch on and off. There was some fun playing around with the voltage. What I'll do is we'll take you to I'll move to the computer and I'll show you, because with Garble 0.9 there's actually a setting that you have to go and change, and it's not in the, so getting into G code sender and going $$ to bring up the list of settings in Garble does not work. You actually have to physically go in and edit the configuration file. It's not difficult, so don't worry about it. All you need is a text editor, something like Notepad or TextMate, something like that, and you just go in and change one particular line. You have to disable it, and we'll go and show you how to do that now. Okay, so we've switched over to the computer now. Now you have to go to a file, you have to navigate to wherever your Arduino folder is located. So I'm on a PC, it's Libraries, Documents, Arduino, Libraries, Garble. Within Garble, you come down and you find the config.h file. Open that up in your favorite text editor. I have it here open in Sublime Text. I use Sublime Text quite a bit for my web design stuff. We come down to line number 238, and by default it is enabled. So by default enabled, comment to disable. This is for the variable spindle speed. Now what I found in my testing, because I was running the multimeter across the pins to see if I could get 5 volts from turning it on, setting the MO3, MO5, and what I was finding is every time I put the pins onto the the probes onto the pins, it was setting off a hardware limit reached, and I was wondering what was going on, and I did some web searching and I found that this line here, that the config.h file needs to be edited. So as I was scrolling through, I found this section here, and it states that, note important for Arduino Unos, which we've got, when enabled, the Z limit pin D11 and spindle enable pin D12 switch. The hardware PWM output on pin 11 is required for variable spindle speed voltages. And I was like, that's why I was triggering a hard limit, because every time I put the probes on, it was closing the circuit and triggering a hard limit. So what I've done is, you have to go in and you have to comment it out. So // it will comment out the line, save it, then you'll have to, so once it's saved, which we've done, I've already saved it, you then have to go into Arduino, and once that opens, no, not downloading it yet. So we open up Arduino, we then go File, Examples, Files, Examples, Garble Upload. You then need to reload or recompile Garble and then upload it again to your Arduino Uno for it to work. If you don't do that, just changing the config file won't fix it. You actually have to verify it or recompile it and upload it. Once that's done, you'll be able to go into Garble, into Universal G-Code Sender, throw in a M03 command, and that will turn the switch on. M05 will turn the switch off, and that's pretty much it. So again, thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, subscribe. If you have any other questions, put them in the comments below. I actively monitor the comments, and I try and answer as many questions as I can, and when I get them. So until next time, again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Cheers. Okay, so since we've been filming this, I've actually received the relay that I was waiting for, and have now installed it into my prototype box. We'll try and get it up so you can see it, but you'll see it down there in the bottom there with the lights on. It's just a little Arduino relay. I had some fun connecting it up. It's actually connected up. I've probably connected it up incorrectly, but it's now a normally closed switch, because when I was connecting up all the power, it would automatically turn the... So once the power was connected, it would close the switch. It would open the switch instead of closing it. And when you use setting the input signal, it would actually turn the way I had it wired off, it would turn the torch off. Okay, so we've got a 5 volt. You can see 5 volt running off the CNC shield, and then the input and the ground running off the Spindle enable, and then these are sitting on the normally closed, which are running to my torch connector down here. So what we'll do is, at the moment, I'll just put the multimeter on just so we can see this working. Now I've gone in and, as you've seen, I've made the changes in Garble so that this actually works now. But if I connect up these, there's no switch or no connection. Now I've got Universal G-Code Sender already open. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send through an M03 command, which is a Spindle on. 03, enter. And we're up and running, so the torch will have been turned on. If I send an M05 command, which is Spindle off, it turns the torch off. So that is basically, folks, how I am going to turn the torch on and off. It was just a little relay that I purchased off eBay. I've got a link in the description below for that. The one you may have to search. There's hundreds of them on eBay. I think this one cost me like $1.50 or something like that. It wasn't too expensive at all. It was just the wait getting it sent from China was like nearly 3 weeks. So yeah, so that's pretty much it. The prototype box. So now now that it's all operational, we'll move on to I'm going to focus on cutting and starting the fabrication of the plates, the motor mounts, and the other connectors that I have to do out in the shed. And then once we get the machine up and running, this will be the first thing that we replace. So until then, the next couple of videos will probably be me out in the shed doing my utmost to get the table completed as quickly as possible. So until then, thanks for watching. Cheers.